it up. It's The Record Machine with your host, Jimmy Howell.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from the band Generation Landslide, singer, guitarist Anthony White to the program. Anthony, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Very good, man.
What's going on?
Not much, brother. Where are you calling from today?
I am calling from Las Vegas.
Oh, wow. Must be hot there, huh?
Holy crap. That's an understatement. It's miserable.
Was it like 107?
Yeah,
Damn.
something like that. It's between 105 and 107.
Wow. I'm in Myrtle Beach. It's about 88 here. Not as hot by you, man.
I love Myrtle Beach.
Oh, yeah? You come here a lot?
Yeah.
Or?
I have. I've gone there a few times.
Wow.
Yeah,
Very
actually.
Cool. Yeah, we live in North Myrtle.
Yeah.
It's by the House of Blues and the Alabama
Yeah, I
Theater.
know exactly where it is. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool, right?
Yeah, that's really cool. Where did you move from?
New Jersey. I lived in New Jersey my whole life.
Well, there's
47 years, yeah. So, yeah, we packed up 2018. Me and my wife packed up and we left.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
we've only been back there once.
Yeah, right.
That's it, yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah. When I was in Philadelphia over the weekend, there were so many different people, obviously, from New Jersey and New York and stuff like that. And God, that's crazy.
Now, did you grow up in Las Vegas?
I did, but I was born in New York.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was born in New York, and my parents moved out here when I was about 10 and a half.
Wow.
1975, and at that point in time, Las Vegas was a huge mystery. Nobody had any idea what it was like out here or whatever, and it was great. I had the best childhood, or best teenage years. I moved to Los Angeles when I reached 21, but I lived here through all the end of the 70s and early 80s or whatever with my parents or whatever, and it was great. It was a completely different place than it is now. Not even anything like it.
So you grew up in Las Vegas after you moved from New York as a kid. At what age did you start playing music? When did you get into music? How did that all start?
I would say probably at 15.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was only a few years later. The first couple years or so I was here, I was still into sports, which I still am today, but I was a huge baseball guy.
Nice.
So, like all the other kids, little league to every league under the sun. And it was weird. It just changed from baseball one day, the next day it was music. And I never, ever went back to baseball or anything ever again.
Wow. Did you take lessons? What instruments did you play?
No, I did. I started on drums. And at the very beginning, the funny thing is that at that time, everybody who we were all going to school with, because I grew up with Mark Slaughter.
Nice.
So we ended up playing in a band together. And so right before we did, I used to hang around with these other guys that were like a year older than all of us. And they were looking for a place to rehearse. And back then, they didn't have like rehearsal rooms and, everything they have now. So you try to go in people's garages, basements, or any other thing you can think of. So I asked my mom one day or whatever and stuff. And I said, hey, I have some friends that want to, play here. Can they use my room as a rehearsal room? And so I got the okay and everything. And the funny thing about it is they would leave all their stuff here at my parents' house.
Okay.
So me and two other guys, one being Mark Slaughter, we would just jump on instruments. So I literally would sit behind this. At the time, Neil Peart was huge. Rush was like major big to everybody. I mean, this was like 79, maybe 1980. And so the guy who was in the band who was at my parents' house, his drum set looked like Neil Peart's. So he had the double bass and he had the toms all around and everything. And I didn't know nothing from nothing. But I just thought I'd jump on them and I started just banging away. And so then my mom says, hey, you want to take lessons? And I didn't want to, but I agreed to do it for one, whatever. And when I went to go and do it, the guy says, well, what I'm going to teach you is how to play the snare drum. and here's the rudiments, and here's the snare drum. And I went for a lesson or two like that, and I looked and I said, I'm not interested in this. This makes no sense. I could do more on my own by playing the records and putting headphones on and just finding my way, and
Right.
And that's what I did. I literally they would practice. When they were done, I'd jump on the drum set when everybody'd leave, and I just start playing the music and start learning how to play. And that's exactly how that happened. And I just kept going and going and going. And next thing you know, me and Mark are in that band Excursion. And we were really, really popular at that time. We, all over Las Vegas. It was crazy.
Uh-huh.
And so that was pretty much it. I mean, that's how I learned.
And then from that band, you went on to another pretty cool band as well, right? Cold Sweat?
No, from there, what happened was Excursion was in Las Vegas. And so when I reached 21, I basically had to make a decision on, am I staying in Las Vegas, or am I going to try to go to Los Angeles and try to do something? So I decided to go to Los Angeles. I had gotten an offer from a local band there.
Uh-huh.
And I basically went out there in 1985 when I was 21 and just worked my way up. Like, I went one band, we did a demo, we opened up for Kicks, there was someone else we opened up for too. Within a year's time, it just wasn't going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I got discovered by someone else, said, hey, I know another band that's looking for a drummer. Told them guys goodbye. I went to the next band. The second band there was a band called Jaguar. And at that point, they had actually put a record out.
Mm-hmm.
And got me in the band. They changed a member or two or whatever, blah, 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 blah. Then I got into Hollywood. Same thing. A year goes by, management, we're playing shows, doing all sorts of stuff at the Roxy, the Whiskey, and all the different places. Still nothing. Couldn't get nothing. It took the third band, which was at the time Ferrari. It wasn't Cold Sweat yet.
Okay.
It was only Mark Ferrari. He had left Keel, and he was putting the band together. And so he just started picking out people and auditioning them. So my name came across his way from Mark Slaughter, who at that point in time was in Vinnie Vincent.
Uh-huh.
See, he had left Las Vegas 2 years after me because he had gotten the Vinnie Vincent gig. So between him and Greg Chason from Badlands, said, hey, I know a drummer, whatever. And I auditioned or whatever, and I got the gig. And then just everything started to change. And then the whole Ferrari thing, and then the whole name change, and then the whole Oni Logan thing with George Lynch. And it just, all this stuff just consumed everybody. And then we eventually changed it to Cold Sweat, got Roy Cathy in there, finished the record. And then the rest, we just, went from there. So, yeah.
Very cool story. Now, you're back in a band with Roy Cathy right now, right?
Right, I am. He called me up probably a good year. I think it was like sometime during COVID. And nobody knew how long, obviously, COVID was going to last. And he said, hey, I know a band, a guitar player in a band that is looking for a drummer and stuff, and told me all about him and stuff. And I got in touch with him and talked with him. He sent me the 2 records they had done and said, yeah, we'll probably do some shows and, maybe do another record and da-da-da. Well, time went by and I didn't hear for the longest time. Mm-hmm. And then completely out of nowhere, I get a message saying, hey, we're going to be playing a festival, Masquerade Festival in Philadelphia in July. And I thought, okay. And the next thing you know, there it was. Guitar player came to Las Vegas. We rehearsed a couple of times, flew to Philadelphia. We did a hotel little jam, where the band got together. We literally got up there and played the songs, and that was it.
That's awesome.
That was, yeah.
Now, how was the show?
It was actually really good. I was very, very surprised. I didn't know what to think. I didn't know what it would be like. I liked a lot of the bands that played there. It was just one after another. The main nights obviously were Friday and Saturday, and we were on Saturday, and we got up there. We did, I think it was 40 minutes or whatever. And I loved it. I thought it was great. It was real solid. It just sounded good. And then after that, I guess he got pretty good response, meaning the guitar player, because it's really his band, you know. And so he started to think, okay, well, this could be really cool. Maybe we'll get some more shows, and now we're going to, you know, maybe do a third record. And I'm like, okay, you know, I'll go back to Las Vegas. Just let me know if anything comes up or, you know, happens or whatever, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, Mike Floros, he's a great guy. He's a great guitar player and a great songwriter as well.
Absolutely. I mean, I had no idea how good he was. I mean, he's such a great guy, and his playing and the songs are very, very catchy. And I like that. It's got his guitar, you know, stuff going through it, but it's real catchy at the same time. So, yeah, I do like the material, actually.
Yeah, and he's got a great guy singing the songs, too, Roy Cathy. I mean, he's fabulous.
And that, you know, what was great about it is when we were ready to go, Roy comes up, and I was on a drum riser, and he comes up, and he goes, and puts his fists out, and he goes, "You ready, brother?" And I said, "I'm ready." It was like, you know, we had done it 2 years ago for Cold Sweat, and we hadn't done it for 30 years, you know, since.
Wow.
And it was great because the same type of camaraderie, or the same type of, you know, whatever you want to call that, when you get up there and you know that you got the guy behind you, and I knew I got the guy in front of me, and we, you know, we look at each other and knew, you know, boom, boom, boom. And it was just like clockwork again. And we just went right through everything. Like, you know, it was like nothing. It was really cool, actually. And I felt really great about that. So.
That's awesome. Now, you front your own band, Generation Landslide. When did you guys form, and who were the players?
That actually goes back. I've been trying to do it for actually 30 years. I had the idea and had the stuff, and actually me and Kenny, who is the drummer, we started this thing. And unfortunately, we couldn't do it because we couldn't get all four members together. And at the time, I was playing in the Kiss tribute, Cold Gin. And we were going to have, you know, shows that we would open for, and we had different potential and possibilities, and we just couldn't get it going or whatever. So I had to tell the rest of the guys that we had that, you know, I'm going to have to go back out on the road. So I went back out on the road, and then I got into another Kiss band called Strutter. They hired me, and I did that, and then it just fell apart. It just ended. So then about a year, almost 2 years ago, a guy that was interested in the excursion stuff, and he approached me, and I said we would talk, me and Mark would talk, and we would try to, you know, maybe work something out. In the meantime, I just flat out said to the guy, do you take on other, you know, artists, other things? Do you just reissue, you know, already established bands? And he said, no, I do new artists and stuff too. What do you got? And I sent him 2 of the songs. And he really liked them. He said, you got more? And I said, yeah. And I sent him 2 more. And he goes, do you have a whole album's worth? I said, yeah, as a matter of fact, I do. And anyway, unfortunately, that's what got me back going into it again. But unfortunately, we weren't able to work out a deal between his company and me. And I ended up going with a different company. And from that point, once we decided what we were going to do, we had to finish putting the band together. So that's when I reached back out to Kenny again, the original drummer, and he lives in Texas. So he got on board, and he said, sure, I'd be great. In the last 20 years, when I kind of disappeared from music per se, I was in a cover band in Ohio.
Wow.
And I just wanted to keep a low profile, but we were playing like 2, 3, 4 nights a week, but not on any kind of, you know, major scale or any level like that. I had walked away from that. But I was playing guitar in this cover band. Well, the bass player I've known for 20 years. So I called him up and said, would you be interested? And he said, absolutely. and I needed the fourth guy. And I had remembered a good friend of mine from Las Vegas that we kind of grew up together through the excursion days. He had bands and we used to play with each other, you know, in different bands. And his name got brought up. I contacted him and asked him, and he said, yeah, I'd love to. And then next thing you know, there was the full band. So we just started going from there. And it's been since last September is when it actually officially started with everything, you know, happening. So that's kind of where that's at. Yeah.
Very cool story. Now, Ruling the Street Scene, that's the debut album. Can you talk about that a little bit? When's it going to come out?
I believe that's coming out in October. The actual date released, I don't know. I think it's either the second or the third week of October, I do believe. That came from the actual name of the band. So I took the name of the band from, obviously everybody knows the Alice Cooper song.
Right.
And when you listen to the words of the Alice Cooper song, Generation Landslide, there's a line that says, brats and battalions are ruling the street scene.
Right.
Generation Landslide, close the gap between. So that's the line. And I thought, wow, that would be really great to do something like that. Do something more like of a street type of a thing, you know? Mm-hmm. So that's where the name came up. And pretty much a lot of the songs are kind of like that. We've done photo shoots like that. Our 2 videos we did, if anybody, you know, watched them, they'll be like, wait, they're walking in the first one and they're playing outside. And then the second one, we're walking into this rehearsal studio. So it's like everything we're trying to do has something to do with outdoors or the street. Mm-hmm. So I'm just trying to tie it all into some kind of continuity is really all it is. It really it doesn't really matter, but for some reason, it just keeps going back to that. So
nice.
Yeah.
This podcast is going to feature 2 tracks off the debut album, Feel the Sensation and Little Miss Lonely. What's the story behind those 2 songs?
The story behind Feel the Sensation was when I wrote it, I wanted a song that was like the Who song from the album Tommy. On the album Tommy, there's a song called Sensation. And it's like a spiritual type of, anybody knows about the movie. It's like spiritual, deaf, dumb, and blind, blah, blah, blah. But I wanted the spiritual nature of what it would be like to go to work and wait to go and see a concert that night. But your favorite band, it doesn't matter who it is, the excitement of just being done with work, putting on your rock gear or whatever it is that you go to concerts, and the excitement of what it feels like to go to a concert and just see the band up there and just, I wanted it from a spiritual nature of just going, this is your night. This, we're here for you or whatever. This is about the people, not about me. So that's where that comes from. Mm-hmm. Little Miss Lonely actually comes from a relationship that I had with a girlfriend many years ago. And it turned into a hostile situation. And for some reason, it always stuck in my mind. And then I had heard, a long time ago, I had heard the song, it's the Sammy Hagar song, Run for Your Life, off of the Danger Zone album. Mm-hmm. And in there, he has a title that he just says the words, Little Miss Lonely. And I thought, that's the coolest sounding thing. It's got such a cool thing to it. Like, if this person is bad all their life, that's what you're going to be like the rest of your life unless you change. And that's pretty much where I took it. I pretty much documented the experience of what I had gone through, mm-hmm. of being in a relationship where a person has to make a decision where they want to be in a relationship or they want to do substances. I'll just put it that way. Everybody always goes through that choice, and mm-hmm. when you choose one or the other, your destination ends with what you choose, Right. And so that was pretty much what I thought was going to happen to this person at the time. And I saw this person so many years after that, and we had broken up and didn't see her or whatever. And I saw her at a concert somewhere, I think in Long Beach or something like that. And she came up to me and I thought, oh God, oh crap, what's going to happen, and she looked at me and she says, I just want to thank you. And I said, for what? She said, if it wasn't for you and what had happened to us, because more of the story was the cops got called and they were going to take me away. When they realized it wasn't me that was being abusive, it was her, they put the handcuffs on her and took her away.
Wow.
And from that day forward, I went, oh my God, I'll never do this again. But it always stuck in my mind. So I had remembered the words, what I wanted to say in it. So she came up and thanked me and said, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have changed my life and turned it around. And now I'm straight and I'm doing good and my family's and I couldn't believe that this person had done that. And I thought, wow, okay, that's a pretty strong message, actually,
Sure. I mean, that's a great story.
Yeah, but the thing is, when you watch the video, I don't know if you've seen any of either of the videos, but when you watch that one, the story tells the story of it. And the only difference is that it doesn't have a happy ending, like I just told you. We wanted to leave it as I reach out my hand to help this, to help the person, and the person just turns away. So basically, you sit and go, okay, is this person going to clean up their act, or they're going to go down a bad road? So that's kind of how we left it for people's interpretation. So,
yeah, very cool. Do you have any shows lined up?
As a matter of fact, we do. I just got an email today. We're trying to get a show or two in September, but we have a 3-day run opening up for Killer Dwarfs.
Wow, nice.
We have, I believe we have the Whiskey in Los Angeles, we have Las Vegas, and we have a place in Utah. That's the middle of October, so it's probably going to be maybe a week or so before the record comes out. So we're pretty excited about that. That'll get things started and moving, in the direction of the band starting to play, and just try to play with any band that we can possibly, play with. We'd be more than happy to.
That's awesome. Now, you mentioned earlier that you were working with Steel City doing Masquerade. Do you have any other projects you're working on currently?
Not really. I mean, I do, but they're just little local things. Like, I have a cover band that I play drums in. I have another cover band where I play guitar in. Just little things like that just kind of keep me active and moving and just playing. And, because since I can do both instruments, it's good to be in two different types of cover bands where I play 3 hours a night, playing drums and singing, playing guitar and singing. And this way it just keeps me going and keeps the chops up and keeps everything, fresh. So they're just local stuff. The main thing is Generation Landslide. The other thing is possibly Steel City. And then the Cold Sweat thing, for anybody who doesn't know, we're doing the Monsters on the Mountain in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. In August. I believe that it's the 19th, 20th, and 21st. We played the 20th, I believe. So this will be our second show back. We did the Monsters of Rock cruise 2 years ago, and then COVID hit. We kind of couldn't do much. So we're back out again to do that particular festival. I don't know if we're going to do anything else, but I know we're doing that one in late August. So yeah, there's little bits and pieces. I just try to keep myself, occupied or going and moving. That's all.
Very cool. Do you have a website you'd like to promote?
I don't. Unfortunately, everything right now, we're getting everything set up. Everything right now goes through the Generation Landslide Facebook. That's the only thing I have. I have my own individual Facebook, but it has information and some different stuff, but not like the Generation Landslide Facebook has more information and things that are happening and the videos on it and different stuff like that with the band and photos and whatever else and stuff. So
Awesome. Is there anything you'd like to mention that we didn't talk about today?
no, thank you so much for having me. I do appreciate it.
You're welcome. I mean, Mike Floros, he's the one who told me about you. And then when I started checking out your videos on YouTube, I was like, wow, this guy's great.
Oh, thank you. That's awesome. I mean, I really do appreciate Mike. I mean, he's a really good guy. I mean, it's hard to find people like that really, he's got his own thing. He's juggling 2 bands himself.
Yep.
He don't have to say anything about me or anything like that, but I do appreciate it. So I try to, plug him too. Go see Steel City. Go check out Love and Chains. I mean, they both, they have CDs out right now, and they're both really, really good. So go check that out. So
awesome. Well, Anthony, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show today, and I'm looking forward to hearing the rest of that album when it comes out.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. Hopefully talk to you soon.
Yeah, let's stay in touch, all right?
Absolutely. Sounds good.
All right, you take care, brother, all right?
All right. Thanks a lot. You take care too. All right.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.